Oh, it's electric football, and we're back again. I love Stu Pace like Trump loves Putin.
And I love Steve Brown just because he came back for another season.
And back new for this season, we, we have Optimus Prime here. So when I tell Stu, F you and the horse you rode in on, he'll be back there getting busy.
Our horse Gnosticator.
Hey, guess what? Nice.
Thank you.
By the long face.
Oh,
Anyway, game start today. So
yay,
so
we're
why
3
the long
hours from
face?
football.
There you go. And it is a rematch, and the Christmas lights are going in the
I guess we
background.
gotta exchange them.
Yeah, it is only September. Anyway, we have a rematch of the Super Bowl, which hasn't happened since the Vikings Chiefs, evidently, back
Wow.
in 1970.
Wow, 40 some odd years.
So there's a little strange fact for you. Who do you like in this one?
Well, look, there's no Peyton Manning, and clearly this is a different team without Peyton Manning. They're going with a guy who took a knee last year. That's his entire body of work is taking a knee at halftime in the Super Bowl. I would take a knee at halftime in the Super Bowl and be very happy for the rest of my life.
What was he doing out there at halftime? I
Oh.
mean, isn't that when who was singing at halftime?
I don't know. I turned it off at
Wasn't
that
that
point.
Coldplay? Did he
Oh,
run
could
out?
be.
He ran out there and took a knee in front of Coldplay.
Well, he was yellow.
Okay,
So,
nice.
right, band?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, Carolina needs to get off on the right foot this time to really get going. This is not an easy matchup for them offensively. Defensively, I don't think they have to worry as much because I don't think Denver's had enough time with Siemens to put anything together. Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders are going to have to be very flexible in their routes because I don't think the ball's going to get there like it used to with Peyton Manning. I think Carolina wins this in a close game, but I think their defense is at least as good as Denver's, but their offense should be much better with Cam Newton.
And with Kelvin Benjamin back, which I think is a big factor that people forget. So Newton's got more weapons. The defense, well, the offensive line has something to prove because they got whooped in the Super Bowl.
And they're going to be busy tonight.
And they all know it. Panthers are favored, probably because of the rookie from Northwestern at QB.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
mean,
the only
everyone
reason.
wants to rip apart what Peyton Manning did last year, but I'll tell you right now, you could be a Viking quarterback right now, and I'd take him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Better a game managing experienced quarterback than a rookie under fire in a pressure filled Thursday night, which I
Opening
hate.
night, yeah.
So he's set up to fail. I'm taking the Panthers.
All right, cool. Bucks Falcons. That's what you got next.
Yes, and
Good.
this is the year that I expect the Bucks to take a big leap. Winston is the real deal, and they've got an awful lot of talent, big wide receivers. It's the Bucks are one of those teams that I often think are going to take a leap, and they don't. But this year, I expect them to. The Falcons got right up there and just never quite made it over the hump. Didn't quite win the big playoff games, and they seem to be a team on the decline in my view. Steve.
Yeah, my point was you have Matt Ryan who's fading. I watched him in the preseason, didn't put up great numbers. Tampa is posting a better defense and a very good rushing game. Quietly last year in a crappy team, they did put up some nice numbers rushing. I can't see Matt Ryan winning this game against the defense, and I think Jameis Winston with a year under his belt is going to be a better quarterback. And you have to play for him. You have to see if he's going to run the ball, and I think he's dangerous. And there go the lights. Bucks.
Vikings at Titans, and that's where I'm risking taking 3 road teams in a row, but I'm going to do it. A, because I wear the jersey. The Bridgewater injury was crushing. I mean,
Devastating.
one of the weirdest feelings I've had, where you see the preseason, you see the progression, you see that we should have won a playoff game last year against the Seahawks. I mean, that would have been a big step towards a championship level team. Bridgewater seems to be one of the nicest guys you're ever going to run across, and he blows it out after non-contact, after having a great preseason game. There's, as a Viking fan, there's no way not to be depressed. Spielman's trade for Bradford, did he pay too much? Yeah. Would you pay too much if you thought you had a shot? I would.
I would if you were that close last year.
It came down basically to, could you pry away Kaepernick or Bradford? Those were your 2 real viable options.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were talking about bringing in Michael Vick. Come on. I honestly wonder if they reached out like, hey, Pencilhead, hey, 18.
Hey, it's Sunday at 1. What are you doing?
Yeah, your brother's still playing. Why don't you come out?
honestly.
I would love to know if they did that, but as far as I know, they did not. The Titans, I mean, they're the Titans. They're always the Titans. Mariota's got a chance to develop into something, but there's really nothing thrilling on the Titans. I'm taking the Vikings out of loyalty.
Okay.
Plus, I think we are built. I'm hoping they will name Bradford, even though he's made of crystal. But I think we are built in a way to protect him. Running game, potentially hellacious defense, including a potentially hellacious defensive line. We could lead the league in sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Short field, maybe. A lot of running. Couple of short throws to Kyle Rudolph while he's still healthy, which
Right.
doesn't last long.
3 weeks.
Yeah. The 3 weeks that Bradford and Rudolph are starting,
Rudolph never makes Christmas.
he won't lead my team tonight. But there you go. I'm taking the Vikings, maybe pure on Viking love.
All right, I'm going the opposite way. I am taking Tennessee only because of the tandem of DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry, who I think at the end of the season everyone's going to be saying that might be the best pick of the draft as far as running backs went. I mean, it was a no-brainer, but you already had DeMarco Murray.
Helped beat my Clemson Tigers.
Yeah,
You sure did.
Yeah, but you already had DeMarco Murray, who was in people's minds the best running back in the league, but that was with Dallas.
And an offensive line.
Yeah, so that could change. This is going to be a running game for both teams. Whoever comes out with the most yards. I tilt a little to Tennessee because they got two guys that can carry the load tonight. That's all.
All right. Browns and Eagles, and this is really just a game. I mean, it's just a game that's hard to care about. RG3 seems to have won over his teammates. He's going to be a captain. They're all talking about what a great locker room guy he is because evidently, I guess maybe the people are blaming his ex-wife, girlfriend, whatever she was.
I don't follow that stuff.
They're saying he's developed some maturity and perspective and is now a leader and blah, blah, blah. But it's the Browns.
It is the Browns.
A history of futility in my family, the Browns, and in the Cleveland. There's some sort of correlation there.
Yeah, really.
Honestly,
what can Brown do for you today? Nothing.
What can RG3 do? We'll see if he delivers the rock. But I've thought about changing my last name, and I think the Browns should consider changing their name to something
Back to the Ravens
to get rid of the curse. Well, yeah, we can talk about how confusing the movement in the NFL has become. But the Eagles are going with like an injured Carson Wentz. So it's a very hard game to pick. I'm taking Philadelphia at home just because Jeffrey Lurie calls me and says, you better pick him for electric football.
All right. To me, it's a resurgent RG3. Can he regain momentum until his toothpick legs break? And it looks like Philadelphia kind of said, not this year. They got rid of some pieces of the team willingly, and they're stocking up, I think, for another run maybe next year. Get the bad taste of Chip Kelly out of their mouth.
Sweep it out the broken chips.
Yeah. So can Carson Wentz do this? I don't think so. I'm rooting for the dog pound in an upset just because I do like the Browns. It's one of the classic teams, and who likes Philadelphia?
Hard for me to root against them, and I don't like Philadelphia. But in an even matchup, I'm going with the home team.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Bengals and Jets. And let me tell you, in New Jersey, where we're sitting, they are really excited about the Jets. There's a feeling that Bowles and McCagnon have the team going in the right way, that getting Fitzpatrick back makes all the difference. There was a off-season dance.
Protracted drama.
Yeah. Reality show about the big bearded hermit, evidently. But they got him. Bengals, a team much like, the Falcons, that have gotten right up there to the precipice, but can't seem to summit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Dalton, is he fully recovered, and is he ready to lead the team to victory? I don't think so at the Meadowlands. The Jets really are a more solid team, and I'm very interested to see what Matt Forte has left. So I'm taking the Jets.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets too. I hate them. Let's face it. I hate the Jets. I think it's clear that I hate them. Cincinnati lost Vance Joseph, the secondary coach. He went to Miami as the defensive coach. I think that's big for them. He had a unit that performed pretty well, but I just think that the Jets are a more rounded team at this point. Dalton's kind of like this too. He's fading just like Matt Ryan. You had your time, and your time is quickly passing, and they're not really doing anything to shore it up. I don't love their running game. And the Jets are known to pound the ball out, so I think that's what they're going to do. They're just going to run Forte and Bilal Powell, and win the game. I think they win it pretty easily, too.
There you go. Here's an interesting matchup: Raiders at Saints, and it seems like Drew Brees got like a lifetime achievement award. Like they just gave him a contract. But no offense, and I love the guy. I absolutely love that little Boilermaker,
Little Drew Brees,
that with his little strange mole thing.
Modi.
And he helps the community when it's down. I do, but I don't think the Saints are a team with clear direction on offense. I don't think they know what they want to be at this point. And I think Drew is. There's a couple of quarterbacks. Every year there's a couple of quarterbacks where you go, is this the year where they really fall off? And I think Drew Brees is very likely to be that quarterback this year. Whereas I think Carr and the Raiders, Amari Cooper, I think they're making progress.
Yep.
Exactly. I think Raiders are going this way, Saints are going this way, and I think this is the point where they cross and the Raiders take the win.
Okay. I like the new Raiders. I love Amari Cooper. I love Derek Carr. Latavius Murray, if he stays healthy, is a huge weapon. I just like the old Breeze better. They still had, I think, the number one. Did they have the number one passing offense last year? Could be. And I think that should be enough to win the home opener. I don't think the Raiders have all the pieces in place yet. Tough to open on the road in the Dome. I'm taking the Saints.
Okay. Chargers at Chiefs. Why don't you lead off on this one?
All right. Well, I'm not big fan of the Chiefs, but they have won 3 in a row from San Diego, and I don't see them losing to a lackluster San Diego defense. Here's another quarterback, Phillip Rivers. Consistently doesn't do a lot for you.
Has lost some talent around him too.
Yeah, but still the good ones get you over the hump. The okay ones, like my team, go 7-9 all the time. The Chargers defense I don't think can stop the running game of the Chiefs. And Alex Smith is a better quarterback in this kind of game. All he has to do is manage them, and I think the Chiefs will run all day against the Chargers. I don't think you'll see a lot of passing in this game. Don't like the Chiefs, but I'm taking them.
It's really funny that you said that, but it's kind of true. Rivers is the more talented quarterback. Rivers is the better overall quarterback. But Alex Smith fits into what they need to do to win this game better.
Phil Simms wasn't a great quarterback. He managed the team well with a great team around him.
Stu is just knocking. What do you think about that?
Oh, it's game one. By next week, I won't give a crap.
No, but he's knocking them out of the park. I agree exactly with what you're saying. There's something really weird about the Chargers organization too, because if you've ever been to San Diego, it's the greatest place on earth, but nobody wants to play there. Bosa was.
Yeah, and what is up with him?
But it's not. I don't know if it's him or if it's their organization. They seem like a very stubborn organization. Eli didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
And I'm not clear what that is. I don't think Bosa's going to have as big of an impact as he could have or should have. I don't think that the Chargers defense is going to impress anybody this year. And I think the Chiefs are going to win a low-scoring, lackluster game that Alex Smith game manages to a victory.
Agreed.
Bills at Ravens. I'm going to let you do this one, too.
I have no read on either one of these teams.
That's why I just handed it to you.
Yeah. Tyrod Taylor isn't great. They've got a strong running game in Buffalo. But Rex Ryan seems to coach himself out of games sometimes.
Or out of jobs.
Or out of jobs. The Ravens, I don't know. Flacco, I loved Flacco when he came out. I'm loving him less as time goes on. They just seem to be kind of the foundations have cracked. Things aren't going their way. People are getting old on the team. And, I thought their defense was getting old 3 years ago. And I don't know, but they somehow miraculously come back all the time. I'm just taking Buffalo because I think everyone in the AFC East wins a game this week but me.
Last year, you expected the Buffalo defense to be awesome.
Yep.
It was a very talented team that put pressure on the quarterback without having to blitz. And they get Rex Ryan, and now they get Rob Ryan because nepotism.
No one else will hire him.
The NFL is just fine with nepotism.
You can do that Harbaugh routine.
The Harbaughs can trade wide receivers after they play each other in the Super Bowl. Oh, you want Anquan Bolden? Sure, you can have him. Send us some cheese puffs.
Really?
Send us old Pate back there. And they're already talking about Rex being on the firing line.
Mm-hmm.
If the team does not come out and really put a whooping on a somewhat lackluster Ravens offense, they're going to start calling for his head.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrod Taylor is actually and has weapons. I mean, Watkins is a huge weapon.
Yeah.
He's better than you think. I mean, he's a guy. He's like a minor league player that came out and had a great season after being in the minors for 10 years.
Mhm.
It's sometimes a guy just needs a chance and needs the confidence, and I think he's got that. So I'm taking the Bills in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong.
Mhm.
And if the Ravens put up a big number, a big crooked number, I think that Rex is already in trouble. But
Yeah.
he does get teams to play hard for him, and they should be fired up for this one. Boy, I'm going with everybody on the road.
Yeah, I know, me too. And I think the problem with Tyrod Taylor and a Rex Ryan coach team is Rex Ryan doesn't give a crap about the offense. It seems like
You would think he would learn that, since everybody says that. You would think he would go, maybe I should give a crap about the
yeah,
offense.
because Tyrod Taylor in the right situations can be a Russell Wilson on the rollouts and things like
That's
that.
what I'm talking about.
But to me, it looks like literally the electric football game sometimes, that they're all just spinning around like this on offense in Buffalo. But I like them better than the Ravens.
There we go. So what are we up to? Bears and
Texans.
Texans. I'm simply every year I hope that J.J. Watt puts up 20 plus sacks. Do you realize the injuries that guy sustained last year? It's like his entire abdomen was just ripped off his body and left on the field. He had back surgery, and he said that was easy compared to the abdomen stuff. Broke a hand, still led the league with 17.5 sacks. And the Bears have never been known, well, not recently been known for anything resembling an offensive line. Texans pressure on Cutler will make him make mistakes. Texans at home, I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, I've been watching Osweiler and Will Fuller. I think that's going to be a tandem we're going to watch for a bunch of years here.
Oh, you're a believer in Osweiler.
I am, believe it or not. Last year I was like, meh, Osweiler. But I've watched him in the preseason, and you know what? He's got great talent around him besides the fact. But
There's that.
he can chuck the ball. He's a big boy, and I think they coached him into their system well. And their defense is their defense. If J.J. Watt is healthy, I think they're going to kind of win that division handily. But I say that every freaking year, and they never do.
The Texans are one of those teams like the Bucs. You expect them to make the jump sometimes, and they never do.
You go, and then it's like,
they're an on paper team.
Yeah, they keep winning my Madden game.
Right. All right, Pack at Jags, and
Just a weird matchup.
I'm just going to go ahead and go Teenage Mutant Ninja Bortles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Bortles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Bortles, hero of the Jaguars, Blake Bortles. Sorry, that's one of my friends' fantasy team's friend's name. I don't know.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Bortles?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Bortles. I love it. So please feel free in the comments to put in the best fantasy team name. I'm thinking about Foamy Love for my team.
Oh, I don't have one.
Daddy Bang Bang. I don't know. They're part of the fun of fantasy football.
Shitty Bang Bang?
Speaking of which, woo!
Oh, wow. Told you.
Wave
Don't
your-
feed him beans.
Wave your tail back there.
You Seinfeld fans.
There you go. Who are we talking about? Oh, Packs at Jaguars.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say.
Speaking of teams that you expect to make the leap, Jaguars, a lot of talent on the offensive side, big wide receivers, Thomas at the tight end. Bortles, some people are believers, some people aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Pack get some offensive firepower back, but I hate them. So I mean, they are it's the
That's your
Vikings and the
Jets.
Packs, and it's probably the Pack this year because of our injuries. But I'm rooting for the Jags hard in this one, so I'm going to take them in week one.
All right. I just think it's a bad draw for the Jaguars for their first game of the season. I think they are a team on the rise. I like what they did in the draft. But it's Green Bay. It's opening day. I'm just going Aaron Rodgers over Blake Bortles literally at this point. Unless there's one of those passes in the end zone that gets intercepted but ruled a touchdown for the offense. I don't know, but I'm taking Green Bay.
Okay. Still, we got Dolphs at Seahawks.
What an opener for my boys.
Yeah, not an easy one.
We never really addressed the linebacker or the secondary, even though we brought in Byron Maxwell from Philadelphia with Kiko Alonso. I've watched them in the preseason.
My name is Kiko.
Kiko and the man's not there.
Nice.
Miami just isn't there yet. Yes, we have a better offensive line on paper with bringing in Laramie Tunsil, he of the gas mask full of pot. But I don't blame the kid. They're kids. That shouldn't affect. I've never seen marijuana hurt anybody's performance.
Come on,
unless they just smoke.
That was some fun at the draft.
Oh, it was
man,
great. Well, it
who's
worked out for
expecting
me.
that?
The problem is we never addressed the other guard position. Our linebackers are iffy. Our secondary is meh. and we're going into Seattle on game one. Now, our defensive line should be able to handle a average, if not below average, Seattle defense. But can we contain Russ Wilson? Because when Russ Wilson gets out of containment, game over. I expect Seattle to romp, and that's just the story of being a Miami Dolphin fan since 1968.
You forgot to mention that your running back is brittle.
Oh yeah,
older and brittle
from Houston.
Yeah, bit of a, and you have that other running back with the really confusing name. Like
Yeah, you need consonants. J. So
yeah, I agree with you. I think Russell Wilson can win this game pretty much on his own. Just doing what he does. It'll be interesting to see how Seattle's offense has evolved. Will they become much more of a passing team?
Is Rawls that good?
Yeah, and will this all be thrown on Russell Wilson's shoulders? He's proven that he can handle the load. You know, people say, "Oh, he doesn't know." Marshawn Lynch, they won with the running game. Not entirely true. So I think it's a pretty clear pick here. Seattle at home against a Dolphin team that really didn't improve that much.
Can't argue with you.
Giants at Cowboys.
Yep.
Classic game. You wanna lead?
Well, I actually like Dak Prescott. I think actually this is the Tom Brady replacing what was his name?
Drew Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe. This is like Romo goes down. Oh, we have this kid. Oh, does he have a rocket arm? Oh, can he run? Oh, does he understand the offense? Yeah, I think he can. I don't think the Cowboys are going anywhere this year just based on Prescott alone, because I think they have some glaring weaknesses elsewhere. Ezekiel Elliott
called the defense.
Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott looks like the real deal here, though. In the few spots that he was able to play, I think all 10 plays of it. I think it's still a close game. I don't know if Victor Cruz is actually scheduled to play, but I think it's still Odell Beckham and Eli, and they always seem to perform well in this setting. But I think the Cowboys beat them in the opener in Dallas at home last year. I don't see it different this year.
The Giants are kind of a shame because they with Beckham and a healthy Cruz, it could have been like Chris Carter and Randy Moss. It really could have been the older guy with number 80 on,
Right.
teaching the younger guy, how to be a pro and everything like that. And Cruz's story, if you're from New Jersey, he's a Patterson kid, made it big with giant catches in the preseason, and all of a sudden, became a star. And really one of the most fan favorite Giants that have been around here in a very long time.
He's got a great outside of football reputation around here anyway.
Yes. Does a lot of work in the community. Just another guy that seems to be like, we always hear about Ezekiel Elliott. What was he, at a pot shop? And
Right.
he was accused of beating it. We always hear the bad stuff, but Victor Cruz has done an awful lot of good stuff, so we hope he comes back. They picked up Snacks. They may have shored up the defensive line a bit. But nobody here is excited about what the Giants' prospects are. It all falls down to how well Eli plays. He's been playing great and not getting as much credit as he should. With a healthy core of receivers, I mean, like, what happened to Reuben Randall? Like, he's in the witness protection program. Yeah. He's gone. They really have not drafted that well. There's a lot of talk about, is it time to make a change at GM? The Cowboys, Dak has impressed everybody, mostly with his poise.
Yeah.
I mean, as a rookie under fire in the NFL.
Like he knew what he was doing back there.
Yeah. And Elliott is certainly a very, very talented back with potential for some home runs behind a great offensive line. So it seems to me that the Cowboys' strength, great offensive line, against the Giants' potential weakness, not that great of defensive line. Definitely still problems in the secondary. I'm going Cowboys too.
Okay. By the way, Ray Donovan fans, is Ben McAdoo bunchy?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, when you go look,
a little bunchy myself.
look, it just reminds me of him anyway.
Lions at Colts.
Yeah.
Bye-bye Megatron. I mean, one of the great wide receivers, and unfortunately, does it feel like the Lions have a lot of guys you can say this about? Like, one of the greatest, unfortunately, they never won anything because Barry
retired before they got murdered out there.
Yeah,
Barry Sanders.
You got Megatron, you got Barry Sanders, my own personal favorite, Chris Spielman. Great players dot that roster, but they never ever walk away with a championship. Right. And the Colts. Honestly, what do you want to say about the Colts? It all comes down to keeping Luck upright and healthy.
And I hear his shoulders bothering him already. So, That's all you got, in my opinion. I couldn't name another Colt right now.
So,
Honestly. Oh, Vontae Davis, maybe?
but push comes to shove, the Colts at home with Luck currently upright. Was last year an anomaly, or is Luck gonna not? Is he already on a downward trend? Because when they're rupturing like your spleen and stuff, you got to start wondering about maybe he's looking at Megatron going, that may have been
Yeah.
a smart idea.
Am I paid yet? Good.
Right.
Retire.
So yeah, not the kind of excitement I've had about the Colts in the past, where I thought they were a championship level team, but a team that I think can beat a dispirited Lions team.
I think so too. I'm just taking the home team because I honestly, I can't tell the difference between the two as far as one has better in any phase of the game than the other. So home team.
All right. Pats at Cards, and this would have been a great game, except the legal proceedings worked out against Brady. No Brady, no cry. No Brady, no cry.
Yeah, man.
Dear little Stewie, don't shed no tears.
No.
No Brady, no way. They don't win without him. Garoppolo, I mean, come on. Gronk is already injured. And I'm going to make a weird statement here, and people can rip me if anybody actually watches this show. Is it weird that the Boston Celtics once gathered all the white basketball players, and the New England Patriots now have like every white wide receiver?
I never noticed.
It's a little strange. They're Caucasian heavy up in Boston.
Muffin, we must get to the Patriots.
I was just thinking that. Cards, great secondary. If I'm Jimmy, I don't want to go up against them.
Yeah.
Does Carson Palmer have another year in him? I think he does.
I
think at home they have enough to win this game without Tom
running
Brady.
back by committee, but each one of those guys, can come in and be the guy for the day. They don't have to count on one guy. I like the Cardinals in this game. Not to belabor the point.
Steelers at Washington, and since you didn't belabor the point, we'll let you run on this one.
All right, even without Levy and Bell, the Steelers should be able to manage this into a win here. Big Ben can hit some big plays. He's healthy. It's the beginning of the season. They do tend to start out crappy though. Sometimes they kind of come out and fumble through the first few games and then come on in the end and get to the playoffs. But what do the Redskins have? Kirk Cousins and who's the running back again? I can't remember their names.
Alou?
No, I don't even use Alou. But I just don't think the Redskins have any potential this year. It was a fluke that they, the division was bad last year. The Steelers, coming off a playoff season, granted another crappy start, and they, for some reason, always seem to be without a star player for 4 or 5 games a year, but they always seem to put it together. Despite their slow starts, I'm taking the Steelers.
Yeah, they're without Bell, Martavius Bryant, ex-Clemson guy.
Yeah, but they were without him most of last year,
How
too.
many of these guys can't stay off the weed?
Oh, and it's Pittsburgh. I mean, that's because there's nothing else to do.
I was singing some reggae. Yeah, you know what? I went to Pittsburgh. It sucks.
Yeah, there's nothing to do.
Great baseball park. Crappy team at the time.
Yeah, my son loves Pirate Park, whatever it's called.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful park. But the food, horrible. That Primatis, don't believe the hype. That stuff
It's
is
laced with coal. That's all they have left.
It's dog food. Anyway,
I hope no one watches from Pittsburgh.
other than ripping apart the Steelers thing, well, I hope they are, because
Tell us what you do down there, because we have no freaking idea. 3 Rivers. I never see anyone on them.
Big Ben is instantaneous Hall of Famer. Like you don't appreciate how good this guy is. He stands in the pocket. He delivers accurate passes. He leads in a way that he's the unquestioned, like Andrew Luck. You don't get the feeling that he's the unquestioned leader there. Tony Romo, you feel like guys might be talking behind his back, like,
Guys, you want to run the wideout play? No? Okay.
they might be calling him like Tony Pip after this one, because
He's
Dax
Tony Pip.
Gehrig might take his job. There are certain guys.
Trademark Electric Football Show.
Yes, there are certain guys that you go, holy crap, I'll follow that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben Roethlisberger is that guy. Is he a good human being? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But he's a hell of a football leader. And that alone is enough to beat Washington
Yeah.
right now. Throw in Antonio Brown and a young defense. What Pittsburgh needs is they need a young defense to grow up now. You were talking about the Ravens.
don't
It
have a
used to be
lot.
the Ravens and the Pittsburgh and that violent defensive. The Ravens defense got old. Pittsburgh's trying to get their defense young again. And if that works, they're going to be dangerous. But we have to see in the first few games
Right.
if
What they are.
if the rookies can come through for them on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
In this case, they do get a bit of an easy start. They're not going to be tested too much by Cousins and the
Right.
Washington offense. So I'm taking the Steelers.
Yeah,
too.
another road team. All right, and we thank God this game's on at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time because we're not staying up for the 49ers and the Rams.
Though, did you watch any Hard Knocks?
No.
It was kind of fun.
Oh, was it?
I do enjoy Hard Knocks. I got to tell you.
If they cut out the personal family stuff, I'd be happy with it. It's like when Survivor first came on, I'm like, oh, this is great, all these things, but then all the relationships, interrelationships with people. I don't care. I don't care about your home lives. I don't like reality TV.
Stewart's a bit of a misanthrope.
I am.
Anyway,
I'll have to look that up later, but you're right.
Gurley is my MVP pick.
All right.
And if I'm the Rams, wherever they are now, Los Angeles,
Yeah, the Los Angeles Rams.
San Bernardino, San Mateo, I don't know where they're. They move around a lot.
Quakes.
Didn't they used to be the Cardinals at some point?
They might have started out as the St. Louis Cardinals, or
Weren't they the steam trains back in the 30s?
weren't they the bootleggers back in 1812?
I think when my NFL team stayed the hell where they were. It made life a lot easier. Stu, I got to ask you this because you have a military family background, as do I. What do you think of the Kaepernick kneeling?
I it's another thing. I don't care about it. When we say the Pledge of Allegiance, I don't say under God because I'm an atheist. So I say underdog. Nobody knows. Well, now everyone knows it, but it looks like I'm saying it. But the God part of America, I don't have anything to do with. But especially the military day, and this is your country. If you don't like it here, you're more than welcome to leave. It's the national anthem. It's a time where this really isn't acceptable. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
It's an interesting debate.
Yeah,
I think
I'm not totally upset about it, but
I think it's fascinating. I heard on the way over here that his jersey is now the #1 selling jersey.
well, to burn it probably.
Well, that's it. I guess when they take those numbers, they don't go, "Are you wearing it?
Yeah. Hey,
Are you
on clearance.
wearing it?" No, it's a fascinating thing. He no longer has the sort of celebrity. They're not giving him. You remember that commercial? I'm the man. I'm the man. I like that song, by the way. But he no longer has the celebrity that he once had, where he could just come out and say, "Hey, this is something I want to speak about." So I think it's fascinating that he's chosen this. I think it's fascinating to see how few people have joined in with him. I like the one guy on the Eagles that was on like the might be cut list who was like, "I'm going to join him," and his rep was like, "Oh hells no!" And the next day he was like, "I didn't mean I was going to kneel or anything. I want to make the roster."
Join him. I meant for lunch.
Will it hurt him in the competition with Blaine Gabbert? I think the thing that's going to help him in the competition with Blaine Gabbert is Blaine Gabbert's going to actually play.
Right.
If I'm do the Rams, Case Keenum and Sean Mannion, speaking of Hard Knocks, what the hell is Jared Goff doing that he's like inactive for the first game? So like Prescott and Wentz are starting, and Goff is like,
Yeah.
you can go sit up there and watch us, and maybe you'll learn something, son. But if I'm the Rams,
It's a bad pick.
I literally just hand the ball off to Gurley all day. There are two running backs that I would do that with in the NFL, and that's Peterson and Gurley.
Mhm.
I think Gurley is the second coming of Peterson. And if the Rams are smart, they put a very conservative game plan in. They try and jump to an early lead, and they say, "Come on, Blaine,
Yeah.
put that ball in the air. Let's see what you got," because so far you haven't shown us much. The 49ers defense is vulnerable to the run. Their linebacking core is lackluster at best. I just go, "Hey, number 30, here's the rock.
Yeah.
Direct snaps if you have to."
Don't outsmart yourself by not running him.
Yeah.
So-
Simple game plan. I think the Rams win this one on the road.
All right. That's our week 1 electric football for 2017. we're glad we're back. It's good to see the old face and Steve too. The old face.
I was going to say the old face.
Any parting thoughts?
No, just that we love you, and please feel free to put comments back. We hope you're glad that we brought in a third to add to the show.
That's our silent Howard Cosell.
He appears to be kissing Stu every so often too.
Kiss my ass.
Little jealous.
And he's the ass.
Anyway,
See you next week. Bye-bye.